Mega bids for both teams in the capital. Kevin Nisbet, Toby Sibbick, two men in great form. Well, I'd say Toby Sibbick's actually probably just behind Carter Vickers in terms of in-form centre-back in the league. I don't know where he's turned that around from, but he has.
Definitely the most improved defender in the league.
From like October.
Could you argue most improved player?
I think you could.
Possibly, because I can't think of anyone who...
Sakala, maybe? Sakala went from absolutely nothing.
Actually, yeah, Sakala and Sibbick, the two most improved players, I think, over the past, like, let's say 6 months.
Absolutely, but so we'll talk about Sibbick first. Blackpool have put in a 6-figure bid. It could be 100,000, it could be 999,000. Where do you see that bid going?
I hate when they say 6-figure bids, right? Because I get it. See, to English teams, 100 grand, 900 grand, doesn't matter a shit. But see, in Scottish football, there's a big difference, like, you know. So,
yeah.
I mean, 900k for a player could be good, whereas 100k could. 6 figures doesn't mean fuck all to me. I mean, it could be 5 figures and it could be 90 grand, or it could be 6 figures and it could be 100.
Exactly. 99 grand.
I know, but see when they say 6 figures, it is very misleading, because it could literally almost be $1 million, or it could have just scraped the 100k barrier. Now, I think even if it was 999k, I would say no. I think Toby Sibbick's improved a hell of a lot. Big physical guy. I mean, not that pass that he played to Michael Smith against Aberdeen. Holy shit. Absolute belter. No, for me, and I'll hold my hands up. Start of the season, I said he should never play for Hearts again after a few bad...
There was points where Hearts were dropping centre-backs. This guy's getting brought in. You're like, get this guy out. He cost Hearts goal. But you know what? He was costing Hearts goals.
Yeah, he was. When he first came in, he wasn't playing good. But you know what? He's been given a chance because of these injuries. And maybe in hindsight, these injuries perhaps were a good thing, because now we've actually discovered that we've got an actual good player there.
A ball-playing centre-back that loves a solo run.
And you can argue when Hearts have... No fitness, no injury issues. You could argue Toby Sibbick deserves a spot in the starting 11.
Would you sell him though? How much would you want for Big Toby?
See, I need to know what his contract. I need to know what. Did he sign a 2-year deal? I think it was a 2-year deal.
Well, if he signed a 2-year deal, I mean, how much can Hearts really hope to get out the guy? That's the thing. You know, they're not gonna. We're not going.
There's no amount for 6 figures I would sell him for.
1.5 million or something. 2 million?
You want a bit more than that? I don't know.
2.5 million?
I don't know. I would want to keep him. Personally, I would want to get him tied down, because I think we can all realise that Kai Rose probably won't be at the club that much longer.
Signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah, I know, but I think I hope this is the start of Scottish clubs beginning. Like, I know they don't. We can't offer you a long-term contract because of money. We can't commit to paying you blah 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 for 5 years in case you turn shite, right? And
we get liquidated.
But these clubs need to be realistic, right? See, if you've got a fucking good player and he's in good form, you have to accept that he is not going to be at your club forever. Why not offer him the deal, tie him down, and then when someone does come in, you can demand more money? How many times over the years in Scottish football have we seen good players either run down their contracts or get sold, like with 6 months remaining, and the team get peanuts?
Exactly.
Like John Souttar, right? Scottish international. Alright, fitness issues, hasn't had a great career at Rangers, but you feel like if Souttar had a couple of years on his contract, Hearts could have... Why couldn't Hearts have demanded a couple of million? I mean, what Aberdeen got for McKenna, 6, 7?
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, see, Souttar's got like 2-3 years on his contract. Alright, maybe you guy's a little bit injury prone, but I think Hearts still could have been looking to command 3-4 million from John Souttar, but they couldn't. They left 6 months left, and Rangers end up winning pay more than 400k.
Which I still think to this day is disgraceful. Don't understand why that didn't happen.
There's loads more. You look at the history, and there's time and time again this happens.
And it's stupid.
Ryan Porteous currently, Hibs. He said he won't sign a new contract, but why? He's a fucking Hibs fan. If he is, well, he claims to be, that's disgraceful. Why wouldn't he sign a new contract? Say to Hibs, well, look, I want an extra, I want a pay rise, I want this amount of money. Look, give me this, it ain't breaking the bank, and then you maybe sell me next year and you'll make yourself a profit.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. He's rejected every offer they've put in for him.
Yeah, but we don't know what offer Hibs are giving him, realistically. We don't know what he's currently on. Like, but even if they doubled his wage, it's an investment. Because if they say they get him to sign a new contract now, say a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
See how much more money they'll get in the summer when they sell him than they will by letting him go either in January or him walking away. They'll make up the extra money that they're paying him in wages. It's a no fucking brainer. But clubs in Scotland just don't do it.
No, they don't do it. And Porteous, though, man, he's been very questionable. So maybe
the only club that are good at this is Celtic. They are the only club that do well at this. Now, I tell you what, Rangers recently did do well with Bassey. Aribo, if he had more than a year left, I think would have went for a lot more. But I mean, you look at Kent, or okay, maybe get him signed a new deal. Morello. I mean, Rangers, Kamara. These are players that Rangers could have cashed out on.
and didn't. 20 million man, Glenn Kamara. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man.
Maybe you could argue a year ago if Rangers tied down Morelos to a 5-year deal, they'd be in the shit because his form's went out the window. But I still think tying players down to long-term deals is what works.
I agree, because you're going to make money. I can kind of see it, like, if you're like a Ross County or a Livingston, because, like, oh, fuck, there's that risk of going down.
Look at Juranovic, he just recently signed a new deal not long ago.
And he's away. I know. But Celtic and Rangers, they know they've got a guaranteed income sort of thing, you know. Hearts, I guess, will obviously not be going down anytime soon, unless at least season gets called early. But Kevin Nisbet, Millwall bidding for him. It's no 6 figures, it's 7, but it's barely 7. £1 million.
Well, how long's he got left in his contract?
A few years, I believe. So, what do you think of that? How does it go from like 5 million for Kevin Nisbet?
Nah, they've got to reject that.
They've absolutely got to reject it.
Especially now when he's in a really good run of form. He's scoring goals. He's one of the form strikers in the league, if not the form striker in the league.
Yeah, it's just a weird one.
Is there anyone in better form at the moment? Maybe Shankland, Kyogo. Apart from that.
Oh yeah, apart from those two, yeah, I'd say absolutely.
Miovski's completely went off the boil. Kolak's been injured.
He's got 18 months. He's got 18 months left on his deal.
I think Hibs could command more than 1 million. The only problem is I think Nisbet has come out and said he's not going to sign a new deal. Again, I applaud Scottish teams for trying to get more money out of players, but when Hibs were what were they offered last year? 5-6 million?
6 million, something like that.
Nah, they should have cashed it. That was a good deal. That was good.
Yeah.
I like Kevin Nisbet. I think he's a good striker, but I don't think he's top level.
And know why though?
I think he's good for Hibs. I think he could potentially.
When they offered it, was he not 23? It's not like he was 19 and he had like a few more years. See, when you're 23, like
if you're not, you're not really going to improve that much more. In my opinion, you're close to the ceiling.
No, you can improve, but it's all about the years you're going to get left. Like, see Birmingham, right? They could look at him when he's 19 and go, "Fuck, if we pay that, we get him for a few years, and then we can sell him on for a massive fee." Now, if you sign him when he's 25, he's about to go into his peak years in a few years.
Yeah, so when Birmingham sign him for like 3 or 4 years, when it comes to a possible re-signing the contract or a resale, the guy's almost 30.
Exactly.
And that's how football works, man. It's a business.
That's a problem. But in terms of both of these bids, it's a big fat no. Reject them both. But I tell you what, we're going to talk about Jim Goodwin. And how's he still on a job?
By the way, speaking of players that are out of contract, Josh Ginnelly, contract runs out at the end of the season. I don't know what Hearts are waiting on. They need to get him tied down now. This is the best form that Josh Ginnelly's ever had at the club. Even if they don't think they can hold on to him long term, or he doesn't see his future there long term, they need to get this deal done. Even if they have to increase his wages, you do it because the guy's playing so well at the moment. There'll be a bunch of clubs into it. You've got to do it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it.
2 European goals for him as well. Top man.
I know, but they need to just get these. No, I mean, it's just not good enough.
No, it ain't. Hearts you get the finger out. But Jim Goodwin, it's no good enough. Lost against Darvel. I tell you what, Darvel were 40-1, and by the time the game kicked off, they were down to 8-1. So a lot of people bet them, and you can see why a lot of people bet them. I know people are saying
I've seen odds as high as 50-1.
Well, there you go. No, but I understand 6th tier Premiership Aberdeen, right?
I wouldn't have been betting them at 8-1. Like,
no, I wouldn't have been betting them at 8-1, but I understand in terms of the golf, it is like the biggest shock ever. It is like literally in terms of like, you know, Scottish football. But at the same time, is anyone truly shocked at Aberdeen?
Aye.
Truly?
Aye.
Really?
There's no way Aberdeen should have lost this.
No,
game.
they shouldn't have lost, but if this was Hibs, I would have thought the exact same thing. I'd have thought Darvel would have gave them a game. It would have been close. I'm not saying I'm going into it thinking, am I truly shocked that Darvel's won? Not really.
Who's that shite team that beat Hearts and I got ridiculed for it because I never pronounced their name correctly? It was a big shock, but it wasn't kind of been. I've already forgot about it.
I can't remember.
Highland team up north.
No idea. 2-1 they get beat.
I think it's
3-2. 3-2. I don't know.
Anyway, point being, that was probably the biggest upset. Now people will look back and say Celtic Clyde, but were Clyde not in the Championship?
Are you sure though? I mean, were they really that high up?
Who?
Well, what division are they in? This team's in the 6th tier. The team
the team that Hearts lost to?
Yes.
They were in the next tier, the tier after League 2.
Aye, which is 5th tier.
Aye.
So
well, there's a better team. They were a better team than Darvel, like that's for sure.
So basically, what you're saying is though is that Aberdeen are worse than Hearts. Is essentially what we're getting.
No, I'd say that's the bigger shock than Hearts.
What was it? Borough Rangers.
Aye.
It
Borough.
was 2-1. Aye, Borough Rangers.
Aye.
Borough.
Or whatever they're called. Fuck them. But point being is, I would say this is a bigger. Even though you could argue Aberdeen's form's been out the window, I still can't look at this and not think it's a bit. Now people always say Clyde and Celtic, but I mean, like I said, Clyde were either in the tier below the Premier League or the next tier. They were still in the pyramid.
Aye.
So therefore, it was a shock, and the fact that it's against one of the old firm, and the fact that it was like Roy Keane's debut or whatever.
Aye.
No, it was a massive shock. Not denying that, but for me, this one takes the biscuit.
It does. It does take the biscuit, guys. Goodwin's still on a job though. No idea why. Again, Aberdeen sit 5th in the league.
Honestly, if you break it down, I actually don't think he was doing that bad a job up until he conceded that late goal against Celtic. That is what's completely fucked their season. They went for a 2-game period. They went for being a couple of minutes away from picking up 4 points against the old firm. Most teams would snatch their hand off for that.
Yep, and they
ended up getting hee-haw, and then they just went on a run of games that followed. And
5-0 to Hearts is inexcusable.
Aye.
I don't know how that even happened. And then this is the cherry on top. So who's going first? Is it Goodwin, or is it big boring Lee Johnson?
Well, partly Lee Johnson was. Rumours were if he didn't win that Edinburgh Derby, he was sacked.
And he's still here.
He's still there. I don't know if Lee Johnson and Jim Goodwin have something on the respective owners. You know, like maybe they've got some dirt on them and they can't get sacked.
They might they're doing their best to try and get sacked.
I'd say it's definitely them in the sack race.
Aberdeen fans.
I mean, Ross County aren't doing that well, but I think Ross County will give Milky Mackay a chance. Just for the simple fact that he turned it around last year.
They got top 6 last year.
But I do think they're getting sacked. I do think they're going down.
But Hibs are trying to play the card of we've been through that many managers, we need to keep them, right?
I know, but I don't really see point in that. I get it. You can't keep rotating managers, but if you've got one that clearly isn't working, then you need to bite the bullet and get rid of him.
Aberdeen just need to play Rangers every week and they'll turn up. That's all they need to do. They can't wait for the game against them in April.
Final?
No, it is embarrassing. Like that Aberdeen fans can say what they want, but see that argument, especially this season. How much of Aberdeen have fucking turned up against Rangers in every game? Been good.
Well, no, the one they lost 4-1. They weren't great.
They weren't great, but you know what? They actually went for it. They went 2 up top and gave them a game.
So you think 4-1 flattered Rangers? There was a dodgy penalty in there. There was a very dodgy penalty actually.
I wouldn't say flattered Rangers.
Penalty to Rangers, remember that?
It's not like Aberdeen sat back, got beat 4-1 and it was like, fuck, they had no chance in that game. You know? Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. No transfers out.
It's like a derby game, but not a derby game.
Exactly.
It's like a one-sided derby game.
That's pretty much it. But Raskin, potentially on his way to Rangers, Cantwell announced yesterday, of course. But Celtic, not really doing anything.
Well, as a Rangers fan, what's your second favourite Rangers fixture in the league? Would it be Aberdeen?
It'd probably be Hibs, I'd say.
I was actually going to say that. I think it is Hibs.
I'd say it's Hibs.
The reason why I think it's Hibs is because, well, Hibs are outside of the top two, one of the biggest clubs, and I think it's because Hibs are also like an Irish Catholic club. I think it's got a little bit of
rivalry to it.
Right, yeah, I do believe it. Same as where I think Celtic and Hearts is a bigger game than Hearts Rangers.
Yeah, for the same
I
reason.
think Hibs and Rangers are a bigger game than Hibs Celtic. But yeah, no, Aberdeen, they're, no doubt, their biggest. Fuck the new form derby, no, they don't care about that. Aberdeen fans don't. I mean, well, they lost 4-0, didn't they? That's proof they don't fucking care. They got humped 4-0. That game was shocking. Maybe Goodwin should have went after that, Ian.
I know.
That's when Dundee United were dead last and couldn't buy a win.
They bought it. They bought it off Jim Goodwin in the mystery box.
But, you know, when you break it down, like, I mean, yeah, Aberdeen couldn't give a shit about a new form derby. Couldn't give a shit about playing.
Maybe they gave a shit in the 80s, like, not anymore. Not anymore.
I suppose when you're fighting them for the title, it makes a difference. Like, but why do they care about Rangers? It's not like they're fighting Rangers for anything. Alright, they fought them for a place in the finals of the cup, and they got barred. Well, not barred, like, but they got beat.
They did, guys, and that's going to do it for this transfer video. Check out all the latest news. I believe there's cup action on the night. If you want us to review any of them,
Oh,
you
by
let
the way,
us
see
know.
that guy Celtic are trying to sign, the South Korean guy? Do you know he gave up his spot in the team for Son? Son gave him part of 100 grand.
You and son.
Aye. Personal, it was like a personal payment.
That's mad.
No way Son wasn't rated, they didn't think he was going to World Cup. Apparently that guy at Celtic are trying to sign, the new South Korean guy, not the other guy, the new guy. He gave up his place to his son.
I was going to say that's a nice gesture, but he just gave him 100 grand.
Oh.
The amount of money Son's on, for fuck's sake, he could have given him more.
Million.
I know. Anyway, though, that's going to do it for this video. Till then, don't bribe your way into the national team. Maybe that's how fucking half the Scotland team gets in.
Back in the 2000s, I think it was.
Might have been. Woo! Peace.